Did you guys watch Dynamite?
Yes.
Okay. So I tweeted, and of course it got the typical responses, and this is just my thing. So first of all, it's Jon Moxley versus Jay Lethal, Continental Classic Tournament Gold League match. All right. Now they're doing this Continental Classic Tournament. All right. And they're doing the scoring like they do the G1 in New Japan that I've never been interested in. I think it's the epitome.
Kind of exactly like it, yeah.
It's the epitome of
American
the nerd
G1. Yeah.
The epitome of the nerd culture in professional wrestling, where you're like watching like the tournament and 3 points for a win, and it's just it's whatever, bro. Basically, it's like all these guys are wrestling for are to get points on a graph that they show on the screen, and the person with the most points at the end is like the winner. And I'm like, you can't like WWE is doing soap opera storytelling. These guys are doing like a wrestling tournament. It's like a video game, like a board game, like there's no promos to the matches. They're just wrestling. The match is over. They get the points. Moxley and Jay Lethal wrestled. Good match because Jay Lethal's a good worker, and there was no blood, which is surprising. I figured at least Moxley had the respect not to bleed all over Jay Lethal for no reason whatsoever. But this was decent, and Moxley went over. So this is Powell's POV, a well worked match. I assume that Moxley would win, but I also think we'll get some upsets to the tournament. Moxley now leads the Gold League with 6 points. So I tweeted, okay, this Continental Classic Tournament is not compelling television. And I'm sorry, and people are trying to explain to me why it is. They say, well, it's not a single elimination. And I don't think you understand the rules. I go, no, I fully understand the rules, and it's not compelling. They're not doing any promos for this. They're just going out and wrestling. There's no storylines. There's literally a tournament with no storylines, and 12 guys are involved.
And if there wasn't 7 tournaments a year, the Owen tournament, to this, to that, it's not. I mean, it's not compelling to me either, right?
They're doing the opposite of what WWE is doing, and WWE is outdrawing them significantly in the ratings. WWE is doing soap opera storytelling where the best segments of the in-rings where the guys are having candid conversations with each other, forwarding storylines, and these guys are just wrestling each other for points in the tournament. I'm like, whatever. This does not – everybody knows this would not interest me, and it doesn't interest a lot of people because the numbers aren't good. Oh, Joe, by the way, get the numbers.
Yeah, it's 858. It's
that's like the exact same as last week, right? Last
week was 845.
Yeah, there's like 850,000 people watching the show each week, and it's not going up or down. It's just the exact same people. Like, they're in a holding pattern. So the funniest thing about this was, so they showed footage from Saturday's AEW Collision of Eddie Kingston sitting on the floor and showing his frustration over losing his first tournament match. He said he was behind the 8 ball, and Kingston said he would be humble in victory and humble in defeat. And he said he would be ready for Bryan Danielson in his next match. So Bryan Danielson's at the broadcast table, and this starts cutting about a fiery promo about.
That was a great promo.
It was a great promo, but this whole thing is like he was coming into this tournament with confidence. It's like, all right.
No, what he was saying is, I broke my orbital, but I'm still there, and what do you mean? I'm, being humble. I'm going there to win,
Right.
It was good. I like that.
Right. He's
trying to sell this. On Miz. Yeah.
He's trying to sell this boring tournament, and by cutting a fiery promo, he's the only one that was like selling it, but I guess Eddie Kingston. But it was very interesting. They showed Eddie Kingston, from Collision, and that was they're forwarding the Eddie Kingston story on this show because they showed what happened on Collision, right? We're gonna fast when we get to this. You'll see what my point of contention. So Tony Schiavone, this is a very long segment. Flair, Schiavone, and Sting are there, and they're putting each other over, and they're talking about how basically Greensboro, North Carolina, is going to be the site of Sting's last match. And this, how long was this promo? Like they went on for like
that might be the longest backstage promo I've seen.
I did, and I'm not even going to give you. There's nothing really to even talk about. They literally just put over that they're in Greensboro. That's where they used to wrestle. That's a great place to end his career. And then that's it. They just put over Greensboro for Sting's last match. And what is it, in March?
Did they say the date?
Yeah.
Did they say
in March?
But in March?
I don't even think they gave the date. I just think they just said it would be in March. Or did March 9th or something? I don't know. But whatever. So they're promoting something that's 4 months away.
Greensboro Coliseum, AEW Revolution 2024, March 3rd.
Right. So next match is Briscoe versus Rush in a Gold League match in the Continental Classic Tournament. Of course, Rush went over in this. Rush, I like when I watch guys work on this show. He still sticks out because he's chopping people. He's like he's bringing it out there. He looks vicious. He looks like the type of guy that
basement kicks in the corner.
Plus two, it looks like if there was a fight backstage, I wouldn't want to mess with this guy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He comes across as like a real deal.
Yeah, he ain't afraid to fight. He's been in trouble for street brawls, like serious.
Has
trouble.
He really? Yes. Really, I would because bro, that's the type of body language he has. He looks like he looks like he's in a street brawl out there. His work is excellent. This goof, I don't know why. Bro, this is a Dynamite. 850,000 people are watching it. This is a tournament match. This Briscoe took a suplex off the apron onto his back on the floor, and I mean, it wasn't necessary. That hurts. When you land on your back, and if you don't land completely flat, and you land on the heart even though there's a pad, that's still the floor. But bro, you can mess yourself up. But Rush went over in 11 minutes, and here, guess what he got? Konnan, 3 points. 3 points. They showed it on the screen. 3 points. He got the 3 points. Tremendous. It looks like a checkerboard when they show that thing. That's what it does. Like they're playing check. It's kind of funny.
Like they're playing.
It's like WWE is playing chess and they're playing. No. It's like WWE is playing chess and they're literally playing checkers. They have like a checkerboard with the 3. So Tony
Somebody
Storm
should put up a meme like that.
Yeah, Tony Storm is backstage. She's lying on a couch with her legs over an interview RJ City while Mariah May stood behind them in black and white shot. Said she was feeling dehydrated and exhausted, and the city informed Storm that she would defend her title next week and asked if she was worried about defending her title in the current state. And she listed several classic Hollywood names and asked if they were worried. Storm had City take her shoes off, and that was the segment. So, sorry. That's RJ City needs to look a little more professional in this role.
Yeah, I don't care for him.
He just looks like a guy with a ponytail and it's not really well groomed. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know where he came. I'm trying to figure out who he got in through. I don't know who he is. I don't know if he was in ROH or what. Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
There's a file that I have that says unnecessary talent on TV. I'm going to stick him under that file.
Oh, no. RJ's a wrestler.
Who cares, bro? At the end of the day, the character he's playing, kind of a goofy, over-the-top, giddy announcer is not entertaining to me. And he's been there how long? 2 years or so or more? I don't know.
He was trained in Canada, so maybe he's buddies with somebody.
So next was another long MJF. Bro, MJF segments. When I'm reading this show, it's like 8 paragraphs, and it's just an in-ring promo. But basically, he came out with the cane still, and he put over Joe, put over his legacy, put over TNA, and he promised he would show the world it's not about the size of the dog and fight; it's about the size of fight the dog. And MJF said if Joe wants to take what's his, he would have to put him down. The MJF dropped the mic and broke his cane in half, and the lights went out. And when they came back on, he was attacked by 4 men covered in black with the devil mask logo on the back of their shirts. And the 3 of them held him down while one had a bat. Samoa Joe came out and pulled the guy with the bat out of the ring and entered the ring and chased off the other 3 wrestlers, and the screen went black. And I thought this was a production error because the screen went black for a considerable amount of time, a lot longer than I think they expected it to. Did you notice this, Konnan? When the screen went black? It was black for a decent amount of time. And I was getting ready to change the channel because I thought that they froze, right? So this typed up on the screen, it says, "In the shadows, the game begins. Next week, MJF and Samoa Joe, will you face the unknown in a tag match? Are you a hero, Max?" MJF looked into the camera and said he would take out the Devil's Mask men and then unmask him. And MJF called Devil Mask a coward. And MJF asked if Joe we wanted a tag match next week, and Joe agreed. And then MJF said the match was on. What did you think of this?
It reminds me of the Aces and Eights. That's what it reminds me of. Go ahead.
I just thought those cronies, whatever you want to call them, looked very amateurish. If they ran away from Joe, I mean, if you're going to be if you're trying to get after MJF and you're anybody of any significance, you'd think you'd hire 2 badasses under those masks, right? So right off the bat, I'm kind of disconnected because how could your security be so lame? Therefore, you must be lame. That's how I see it. I don't know how you see it, but I just thought it looked very amateurish.
Yeah, I agree. So
yeah, they should have come in there and left them both laying and get some heat.
Right, but instead they're coming in there like what's the point of this if they're challenging them to a tag match?
They're gonna set because Joe's gonna turn against them and they're all gonna stomp him. They're gonna have it's a setup.
I mean, well then MJF's gonna look really stupid.
Yeah,
and I don't think he needs to look really stupid right now.
And they're saying that the devil at this point, the Twitter fans were speculating. It looked like it was Wardlow under the devil mask, the body shape and stuff. So.
All right. So then they come out. Wardlow has his entrance for a match. He's wrestling AR Fox for some reason. I guess it's not, he's having so many squash matches that they have just a next level squash match where he's wrestling a guy that has no chance against him, but it's not going to be a 2-minute match.
Yeah, and AR's your favorite guy.
AR Fox still does it stupid where he does the front kick and he literally claps his hands like this. That I don't know. I mean, that should not be on television. It looks. He's the only person that does it, and it looks so stupid. Like, what is he doing?
I don't know.
Wardlow beats him. He gives him a couple, 3 power bombs. The referee just stops the match. They didn't even pin him.
He said in an interview, which I didn't read it fully, but maybe Joe can find it, that there's a wrestler. I think he might be Japanese. I'm not sure. That when he does that kick, he would clap or something like that. That's
right.
It's like a tribute.
Oh, it's a tribute to a Japanese wrestler that does that.
I think. Yeah. See if
because it looks like he's trying to make the thigh slap sound, but he's just doing an open hand clap. Speaking of thigh slaps, Dante Martin makes his big return after. Bro, you know what the funny thing is? They said that the broadcast team says, "Hey, we're going to show you this injury. Turn your head away." And it was hard to watch it again because his ankle was all crooked and everything, So they showed the injury previously. This was just a thigh slap fest with a bunch of choreography, just not my kind of match. And they went over and they beat Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, and Brother Zay.
Where did he get that name from? And what does that even mean?
I don't know.
Brother Zay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks out of place.
It's like Brother Nero, bro. It's just they call somebody a goofy name when they're around that stable, right? Brother Zay.
Yeah, but are they even doing that anymore?
Well, I guess he's like their associate,
the lead and all. Okay, there's nothing happening with the poor Hardys. Yeah. They're not doing nothing with them. Right. They came back to a big return. Yeah.
So next is so they go back.
The AR Fox kicks. My bad, Di. He said on Talk Is Jericho that he took him from his time at Dragon Gate working with. And I can't say this guy's name. I've never been able to say it. CIMA. Is that Zima? Okay, yeah. So that's his guy that he's paying tribute to.
Yeah, I didn't know that he did that.
I think he worked with us at WCW when he was at WCW.
I don't think he did that though. That the kick with the clap,
Yeah, I don't think he was on the first.
Well,
he was on the first AEW shows too.
This was a great setup for a match. This next backstage segment. Dante Martin, Darius Martin, Action Andretti were on the backstage interview set. Then Penta showed up with Alex Abrahantes. Then Penta fist bumped Dante. Then Penta counted to 3 while pointing at Martins and Andretti. And then Commander and Vikingo joined in, and they counted to 3 again. So this was the build-up for the 3-on-3 match that they're going to have maybe next week or on Rampage or on Collision. What did you think about the setup for this match, Konnan? Are you excited about this match?
I think it'll be a good match, but I guess
I think it'll be an atrocious
match. Yeah, I think you would be absolutely wrong.
Well, a bunch of luchadors against a bunch of green kids. I mean,
But I respect your right to be wrong. No, but they're high flyers, so they'll be doing creative, try to show out. And I like that.
Slapping, and it'll be a disaster.
They can, for all I care. I like that. But here's a bro. Abraham Abrahantes should not be anywhere near those guys.
I know.
He looks so goofy.
Yeah. All right. So but one of my favorite segments came up next. Julia Hart, who is being presented as this evil, ominous character that can't, she comes out and she just looks like she doesn't know how to do facial expression. Remember how Nia Jax kind of walks in the ring just expressionless and stuff?
Yeah.
So Julia Hart looks like she's wrestling Emi Sakura, who, if Emi Sakura was on WWE programming, she would look like a jobber, right? Because she looks like a female.
She basically is here. She loses everybody.
Yeah, she got beat here in 7 minutes and 35 seconds.
And I think
there was stupid. Wait, let me finish this. There was some ridiculous stipulation in this match called House Rules, where they couldn't use their submissions or something like that, or
What is their submission?
Well, the Julia Hart has that choke, that thing that she's doing. Like, remember how she was like being real evil and putting her finisher or submission finisher on people after matches? Well, she wasn't allowed to use it, but she pinned the girl anyway. So, next segment.
I'm looking at her thing right now. Isn't there a guy in AEW called Lee Johnson or no?
Yes.
Well, she's married to him. Okay.
Right.
She's had her debut match in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she's 22. Wow, is she young?
Yeah, she's young.
Okay. So here's my thing on Julia Hart. Emi Sakura, I think, trained Io Sky, so like they respect her a lot. Like they, But anyways, I don't understand.
Joshi Wrestler of the Year 2009. Okay, so don't forget about that.
Yeah, how could I? But anyways, so here's the thing. She came out as a ballet or a cheerleader for,
Pillman and Griff.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
From there, somehow they put her and they could put her in a couple, and now she's the world champion. Again, bro, she reminds me a little bit of Zoe Starks. I do not see her as a star. Her work is not star level. Her promos are not star level. I do not know what she's doing with the title. I am in any way not hating. I am just stating.
All right, so next is
does she come up as a star to you, Disco?
No, she doesn't. She looks green out there. It's like they're giving her a gimmick to do it. She's not doing it like
good at it.
It's like she hasn't like studied the Undertaker or like done homework to see like how do I invest in this character that I'm doing. She's literally just walking out there, just like expressionless, like right. Yeah, it's like
maybe
like
her
she needs to like
Cross can make a team. Yeah,
seems like they're throwing the wall to see what sticks though. All right, let's try Sky Blue this week. Well, let's try Julia. Right. Let's try Statlander. It just seems like they're rolling the dice.
True. So next is so this is a weird segment. RJ City was backstage with Mariah May. Said she had quite the run in Japan. She keeps talking about, I'm from Stardom in Japan. Like, nobody gives a shit. Jesus Christ. Is now dying to show AEW what she can do. And May thanked City for connecting her with Tony Storm. And then she knocked on Tony Khan's door that entered his room. And she was acting like really like in RJ City. I don't get him. I don't,
Neither do I.
He should have like he looked like he doesn't. It's like he's not wearing nice clothes. No. It looks like he's wearing and his hair is like, it's not slicked back. It's just combed back, and he's got it in a ponytail. Like some of the hair is sticking out. Like he didn't get in the mirror before his segment and get made up. It's like like I said, like there's so many people there that just don't dress for work. And like he's one of them.
I don't notice that stuff like you do, Di, obviously, but for me, he's too over the top and campy, and that's why I don't particularly appreciate him. I didn't notice why. Yeah.
Here's why I produced a lot of backstage segments.
So
there's an attention to detail that the producer of the segment needs to have. There'll be times when I was good at attention to detail. Like I said, let's try hey, maybe say this instead. Like, you're looking, you don't like sometimes people wouldn't like they just cut a promo and I'm like, dude, you look like you sound like you don't want to be here.
Yeah, you don't
try to get to just like I'm saying, like.
No, that's your job as a producer. You got to look presentable. You got to check the lighting. You got to make sure that guy emits the emotion and energy that you want and the verbiage.
It's a segment that you're producing, so have some pride in the production of your segment. You know what I'm saying? It's like whoever produced this is like, good grief, So Christian comes out and 5 security guards with him. Copeland comes out. And the security guards lined up in front of Cage and stood behind them in a corner of the ring. Cage claimed management wanted security, said it wasn't his idea. So they dismissed the security guards. And Cage called Copeland challenge him to a match in Montreal for next week's Dynamite. The funny thing about this was Tony Schiavone, in the middle of this promo, had to mention that Adam Copeland challenged him to a match in Montreal for next week's Dynamite. Everything when just like whatever the interaction they had on Collision should have been played before they came out for the segment in a package. But like in the middle of them having their verbal exchange, Tony Schiavone had to, or maybe Excalibur had to remind them of something that happened on Collision, and he said it in passing. So it's like that's like one of the mistakes that they make is, bro, this is a storyline that you have a weekly storyline. Show the package, fill everybody in on what's been going on with Adam and Christian, about a 1.5 to 2 minute package, and then come out and have this segment.
And even also that package could point out like, oh, it's exciting stuff does happen on Collision. Maybe I'll check it out.
Or showing why Wayne and what's his name aren't there because they took him out. Like they got beat up on Collision this past week Because I was wondering why they're coming out. Like, well, where's his guys at? You know, so, bro, this was a perfect segment that they needed a package before the segment started, and they didn't do it. And the announcers are trying to cover everything, and it's just amateurish, like doing stuff like that. So Cage kept accidentally calling Killswitch Luchasaurus and correct himself. The crowd started chanting. And he said when they got beat up, he took a road trip of reflection, soul search after the show, and said he tried to figure out why he became the person he is and why he does unsavory things. He recalled how he and Copeland drove his mom's Taurus, where they didn't have a dime and had the time of their lives. And Cage said they were determined to make it, and they did. Cage said they became multiple tag team champs, declared they're the greatest tag team in that ever lived. He said if you take the wrestling part of the relationship away, their friendship runs deeper. Cage said everyone knows that Copeland was raised by a single mother and didn't have a father figure. And Cage said he wasn't suggesting that Copeland's father, but rather his brother. Cage said his father welcomed Copeland into their family, to this day is his biggest fan. I love you, man, Cage said. We are family. And Cage recalled Copeland's mother's passing. And Cage said she spoke to him before she passed and how great it would be if they teamed together again. And Cage said he's doing it for Copeland's mother, Judy. And Cage put the microphone down, and like they had a moment of reflection. Then Cage tried to hit him with the TNT title belt, but Copeland turned around and kicked him right. And Copeland picked the mic and said, "Nice try." told Cage to shine up the TNT title belt because it's coming home with him next week, and to say, "Oh, by the way, I almost forgot." And the censor was a little bit late on that. I thought Adam Copeland was really good. This was a good segment again. They're doing good TV with each other. You know, they're making the best out of what they're giving them. So, what did you think of this, Konnan?
I would agree with everything you said. The only thing, this little bit of a stickler thing, was I felt like everybody knew that he was insincere, including the fans, and they weren't really into it. They weren't really like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, they weren't making a lot of noise, like they knew what was coming up next.
Right.
That was the only thing.
And it was very basic. He said two sentences and left. You know what I'm saying? So
like Edge was way ahead of him. Yeah, he knew what he was doing.
This is what I'm looking forward to, though. I know that, and I hope that when they get to Montreal, both being Canadians and who they are in the business, the place is going to be really hot. You know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Are they going Montreal or Toronto?
Montreal.
I think it's Montreal, right? Okay. Next, a match that I would be far more compelled to watch if it was they had 3 to 4 weeks of build-up and they had a personal issue going with each other, was Jay White against Swerve Strickland in a Continental Classic Tournament Gold League match. Guess they had all the Gold League guys on this week. You know, like I said, all these guys are doing a wrestling for 3 points in the tournament. There's just nothing else going on in this, and good. These guys are good workers. This was a good match. They had a lot of good. What's the word I want to use here? You know what? Like they do. A lot of these wrestlers do these spots today where they go for a punch and the guy like grabs your arm and spins you around and stuff. But a lot of the guys that like the younger cats that aren't very seasoned look far more choreographed, right? These guys have kind of a ruggedness to their work and a smoothness, but they hide their cooperation with each other very well. It's like these guys are very well seasoned workers compared to some of these younger guys that are trying to do the same spots, but these guys just look a lot better doing these spots. These what I want to call like the new age spots, you know, like kind of like reversals and stuff. But they just do it a lot. Like they just look better doing it. You know, these guys are better workers than like most of the guys on that crew. And but you know, Swerve went over clean, and he's flashed a sinister smile at the end. And at the end, the conclusion of the show, they updated the Gold League standings with Moxley and Swerve tied for the lead with 6 points.
So what's the other
Lucian
league?
White with 3, and Briscoe and Lethal with no points. Poor guys. You know what's funny online? People are talking about they can't wait for the Briscoe Lethal match because it's kind of like the English Premier League. It's like a relegation match. Like who's going to finish this tournament with 0 points? That's what people are talking about. So what do you think is Konnan?
But I think that the reason that it doesn't look choreographed, Glenn, is because in New Japan they don't really choreograph a lot of their matches.
Right.
It's either finish and maybe one spot like the old days, right?
Right.
And they listen to the crowd, and obviously Swerve can wrestle either style. Right. It was great, and even Brian Danielson, who I thought was great on commentary, sounds like he wants to be there. He was saying like, bro, Swerve was doing all these cool little moves and transitions without even getting off the floor, off the ring. He would just slide back and forth, and he looked incredible here. Yeah, and great match. Jay White's a great worker. What was the other thing that I wanted to tell you about this? Your boy Prince Nana was out there, and I guess they must have on the pay-per-view. He was out there in a crutch,
Right.
and he still did the dance. And do you remember this dance? Maybe you didn't even listen to this music, but that used to say, "Now what? What was it? Now what? Now what? Now watch me whip. Now watch me nay nay,"
Nay,
like
nay.
that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Remember that?
Now watch me whip. Now watch me
Yeah.
nay.
That
Well,
one, I
right,
think,
yeah, right.
right. I think he's well. There you go. I think he's doing that dance. I think.
Right.
So
I would love to
apparently-
see. I would love to see if Swerve would get really over with me. If anybody from your people are listening, Swerve or Montezi, I would love for Swerve to just lose it one day and break the crutch over the guy's back while he's dancing. Nothing.
Right.
That's a good piece of business.
So
Go
this
ahead, Joe.
this tournament, I don't know if we've explained it, and like, of course, Di won't care, but the winner gets the Triple Crown Championship, first ever Triple Crown, which is the Ring of Honor title, the New Japan Strong Openweight title, and the Continental title. So you get
Right.
3 belts. Boom, Triple Crown
Well,
champion.
you got a
That's
problem.
what they need, more
when
belts.
people-
More belts.
All Japan style.
More belts. All right. So that's been our AEW review. Or do you want to say anything else?
No, I just wanted
I'm
to
not-
say that I think that one of the things that hurt the Continental Classic is that it didn't have any storylines, intertwined with the tournament. It just
Right.
here's the tournament, here are the guys. It would have been more interesting, and it would have been very interesting if you're not going to do that. UFC style, WWE style, put a video package before the match.
Right. Or have them say something about the match. The two guys.
Right.
It's all right. I mean,
Right?
none of
Yeah,
that.
I'm gonna kill. I'm gonna get you. I'm the best, and whatever.
Right.
You
All right, so that's been our AEW review. Oh, by the way, the only thing I was interested on this show was I'm not interested in the way they're doing the devil mask thing. Corny, I think it's getting ridiculous.
Right.
But the Edge and Christian stuff is excellent. So
You like the MJF and Samoa Joe stuff.
because
You
they're
like-
going over this the devil mask thing is I don't know. It's just
You like Tony Storm,
no, not a fan of that.
Wardlow.
They're doing nothing. Just another
Okay.
glorified squash. So
Joe's a
Yeah.
big fan. Okay, I like the Tony Storm stuff. I like the MJF stuff still because I think I'm okay. And you're not a big fan of the Action Andretti and the Martin
No.
brothers against the
No.
Luchadors. Okay, I like that.
Mhm.
Are you a friend of Julia? Are you a fan of Julia Hart?
not a fan of that.
Okay, one last one. Are you a fan of Riho?
Not a fan of that.
Okay.
Okay, all right. So that's been our AEW review.
Enjoy the rest of the show.